one of the critics of our involvement in Iraq, and it's a legitimate criticism, is that we told the American people and the world that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. Now, that was said by our Secretary of State, with our director of the CIA sitting right behind him at the United Nations Security Council. And obviously we found out that that was not the case. And so people are understandably cynical about telling the world, as well as the American people, that that's our rationale for the military operations that we undertook. And so I think if there's a lesson to be learned, we ought to be sure of our intelligence information. How many times have we gotten intelligence estimates that turned out to be wrong? One of them that springs to mind is the Iranians have abandoned their quest for their efforts for nuclear weapons. You remember that intelligence estimate? So I think one of the lessons we have to learn here is we better really make sure that that information is correct, that leads us to send young Americans into harm's way. And that, I think, has colored, understandably, the opinion of a lot of Americans in that we gave them the wrong reason. I could argue that Saddam Hussein was hell-bent on developing those weapons. I could argue that he was a brutal and terrible oppressor of his people. I can argue that he was a threat to security in the region. But I can't do anything but say we made a mistake when we used Saddam Hussein, the pretext of Saddam Hussein having weapons of mass destruction, as a reason to initiate Desert Storm.